I call Mojo Mathis, 5 minutes.
I want to speak in support of this bill on behalf of the Green Party. I was on the Select Committee when the petition was being considered by the Government Admin Committee, and as well as the sheer numbers of people that has supported the petition, the quality of the evidence that was presented by the petitioner, Kyle Lockwood, was of a very high standard. And it was actually the depth of the research that he had gone into, researching all the countries around the world that had a longer passport period, the reasons why, and how we were actually out of step with where the rest of the world was going with having longer passport periods, and how the concerns around security were no longer a rationale for keeping to a short passport time. And so it was looking at that evidence and discussing backwards and forwards with the officers that persuaded the government admin that we actually needed to recommend going back to 10-year passport. This was what the public wanted. It was what passports are part of many people's essential documentation in New Zealand, both for identification, but also New Zealanders love travelling, and a high proportion of New Zealanders do travel, either to meet with family and friends around the world, in the Pacific Islands, in Australia, and further afield. And we are a nation of migrants, and we often want to reach out to our extended family in other countries. Therefore, passports are extremely important to New Zealanders, and having to renew them effectively every 4.5 years was incredibly stressful for many families. It's not just the cost, it's the inconvenience and the hassle, planning for a trip and then going to look for your passport and suddenly realising that you've got to actually reapply for your passport, and all the hassle that's associated with collecting and collating the documentation required. And so it's fantastic that we across the House have agreed that we're going to make things smoother and easier for New Zealanders in applying for passport, and that in extending the term will be a popular move. We know it is. That's why we recommended it on the government admin that the House look towards adopting this bill.
I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair. Members, this debate is interrupted and set down for resumption next sitting day. And the House is suspended, and I will resume the chair at 9 a.m. tomorrow for the extended sitting.